Hello, I'm Nicholas Moore.
And I'm Dakota Kudra, and we're doing a movie review on Schindler's List. This movie was released in December 15th of 1993 and was directed by Steven Spielberg. Some of the actors that starred in this movie was Liam Neeson, Ben Kingsley, who I've seen in Iron Man 3, and Ralph Fiennes, however you say his last name, I have no idea. So the filming of this movie, I think, was spectacular. So do you want to know something? That over 40% of this movie was filmed with handheld cameras.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. Nothing looked like it was all Hollywood equipment. Like, you got little cranes, you got dollies.
There's no cranes, there is absolutely no cranes and no dolly shots, and I researched this to make sure, and there is zero. Spielberg even said he wanted this to look more like a documentary style, which is also why it's in black and white.
Yeah, one of my favorite shots was just the opening shot of the main actor. He's walking into the restaurant. You just see his back. You don't see his face yet, and the camera's just following him. Basically, that's one of the steady cams. And
there was no steady cams.
There was no steady?
No steady cams. I researched this. I was making sure. There was no steady cams, no elevated shots, and no zoom lenses. Absolutely none.
Well, anyways.
It's all handheld. It follows him in.
Yeah, okay, so it follows him in, and it's just weaving in and out of people and tables and chairs, and finally the main actor sits down, and the camera just swings around and shows his face, and he's just staring off, smoking a cigarette or whatever.
And that was all handheld. You wouldn't believe it, right?
Oh.
They actually they filmed in Krakow, Poland, and as I said earlier, and they actually filmed on. In a city that actually took place in real life too. So they were near the things that were actually happening around that time period. It's not studio, and like nothing was green screen. Everything was just spot on the set. It's already there for them. They're making a movie in history. They're not. One of my favorite things too is among the character, and I think could be symbolism that goes to him too, because as a person, as an actor too, and a character, he's playing the bad guy. He's the leader of that camp, and his little boy servant. You remember his little boy servant?
Yeah. But when later on, it went to another shot of the boy cleaning the bathtub and just finally giving up. Amon walks in and he's apologizing. He's like trying to beg, like, I can't get it out. I'm sorry, I can't get the stain out of the bathtub. And he looks at the stain, and that questions him. He realizes that he didn't use the right product, and then he's sitting there just trying to accept that he's gonna get beaten. And he goes, I pardon you. And he kind of looks up, I pardon you, and he walks away. And Amon's just standing there, and he's starting to get angry that he didn't show the boy any discipline or didn't beat him or anything, because just by showing them praise and pardoning their mistakes, they're not going to learn anything. That's what was going through his mind. He started to get angry. So the boy's walking down the stairs from the house, and a shot is fired, and it's Amon shooting at him. He misses twice, and then finally hits him on the third one. What I'm thinking when he missed is that he was trying his hardest to hold himself back from not actually hitting the boy with the shots, and finally that on that third shot he broke free and shot and killed the boy.
And didn't it cut during this time, when he was shooting that boy, didn't it cut to a part where Schindler is actually looking and observing all this that happened?
No, it was the accountant. The accountant was walking out. The accountant was hearing the shots, and the shots were just hitting on both sides of the boy, and then finally it didn't even show the boy get shot. It's just the accountant walking with his books, and the shot fired, and he flinched like this, and then he walked by the dead boy's body.
So, as you notice, the girl in the red is part of the symbolism to me. Her coat is the only thing that's in red. I wonder, why you would put that, why Spielberg wanted that coat red, and I think maybe it could be to symbolize the innocence of the Jews, or the hope, or the red blood of the Jewish people who were being sacrificed during the Holocaust, or if it was to symbolize the change in Schindler himself. Because if you think about it, he saw this girl from the beginning. He did absolutely nothing, to help her. He's just watching. She comes in just the most random time, like on a hill. I remember her mostly when Schindler was on the hill.
He kind of looked scared too.
And I remember when Schindler saw her dead body and the pile of bodies, and you see the red coat, and I think it signaled a change for him, like a change of heart, because for me, it feels like when he saw her body, he started changing for the good. You know, he started creating his list and bringing these people. And I think that when he saw that body too, everything that the Nazis were doing to the Jewish people started to annoy him. Like, he wanted to do something different.
He just found it ridiculous.
He found it ridiculous. He found it annoying, and he couldn't do anything to stop it. So Michael Kahn did the editing to this movie, which I thought was phenomenal. You get handed a film that doesn't have any dramatic shots, and it's your job to make it look and run as orderly as possible. And I think he did a fabulous job with it. And one of my favorite edited shots too is, you know, the beginning scene when he's following it in, and the cuts are just timed so perfectly. And one of my most well cut scene for me is when the women are hoarded in, you know, and they're picking them out, pulling them out of this pile, and putting them in different spots, and they have to cut themselves and put, you know, the blood on their cheeks so they look healthier, and it's just the cut pace, the time that it took, that was cut so perfectly. The pace was just perfect for me.
Yeah, the entire movie, there wasn't a moment where you're sitting there bored, not knowing what's going on or what's going to happen next. You'll see a cut to another scene or another setting, and you know, okay, these people are going to be involved, these people are going to talk, and something's going to happen, a decision's going to be made, or someone's going to die.
Yes, and he kept the storyline so really paceful too. You know, there's not a time where it went too fast for me or went too slow, because I'm an action person when it comes, you know, I like explosions and stuff. But when I'm not watching an action movie, I heavily follow on the storyline and the cinematography and editing work of it. And I think this movie, like, really, really hits it. Like, it's top 10 on my list of editing and cinematography work. So when we go to the ending of the movie, I love the ending itself, you know. It comes to Schindler's grave, you know, Oscar Schindler's grave. And then I love how this part is all in color. And you see the actors that acted the characters and the people who lived throughout the real lives too. And you see them going up to his grave and, you know, thanking him.
Leaving a flower.
I think there were rocks.
Oh, yeah, rocks. They were just leaving stones.
They were leaving stones. And so the remaining Jewish people that were alive, they visit his grave every single year. And I love how they put it in. It's like, yeah, this is based off of a true story. We're going to make sure you know it's based off of a true story.
You would think that the actors would have felt like it was a great honor to walk with the people that they acted.
But honestly, it was really emotional for both actors and the people.
But in that same sense that they survived the Holocaust, and now they got to portray them within a movie.
Mm-hmm. And this movie was also nominated for, like, the Golden Globes and the Academy Awards, which actually was a 7-time winner of the Academy Awards and a 6th time for the Golden Globes. So the movie was just successful in the editing, the screenplay, the directing, the editing. It won for all sorts of things too. And it's also in the AFI's top 100 since 1998. And it's in my top 10, obviously. I mean, you can't pass up a movie like this. It's really good.
Yeah, you and I kind of have, like, different movie tastes. Like, I kind of like the indie movies, like the really low budget movies that are kind of quirky and have no sense.
Well, this movie was low budget in a sense.
Yeah, and since it's way low budget, you don't see a lot of, like, explosion CGI. It's just all on camera. There was no special effects except for the on-set, little gun shots or the guns or the bullet ricochet. This was basically an indie movie that made so much money.
Didn't it make $300 million box office? I think so, for a low budget. It did really good for a Holocaust movie as well.
It definitely made a profit.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was our movie review. Hope you liked it.
Bye.